Whenever I make mention to the really good MPs in the Conservative Party, I think there's like, what, 1 or 2 of them? I can't even count my own because I don't know what the fuck he does. Anyways, Pierre Poilievre, I think that's how you say it. It's French, and Canadian French is, I don't know where you'd put it on the rank between quality languages and absolute trash, but it's somewhere in that worthless category. So he's the one exception to the rule, just like being a competent conservative, somebody who's actually pretty based and doesn't just wear that as a label in a safe riding, because he's been making his name very prominent lately, and I just hope that bigger and better things are on the horizon for him. And like he says here, all parties support Bill C-10, the one that just got through the House, and I'm not too sure when it's supposed to be read and confirmed by the Senate, but yeah, everything's going to be controlled, and it only goes downhill from here. And he says, yeah, you know why everybody supports it? You know why the Liberal Party, you know why the NDP, you know why the Bloc Québécois end up supporting it? Because they're all the same! Glad he said it. I've been yelling about it for a long time. Conservative Shadow Minister of Jobs and Industry, Pierre Poilievre, answered a question posed by the Liberal MP on Thursday, where the Carleton MP highlighted how and why all parties beside Conservatives are the same. I'd make a little bit of an amendment there, and I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Most of the Conservative Party, they're just kind of weak-kneed wannabe libs anyways, but they reside in deep blue districts, and blue is conservative. It's fucking confusing, but whatever. It's a phenomenon that happens everywhere, okay? It's like I'm saying, I don't even know what my MP does. He's just a backbencher who does fuck all. So when this snap election or the next election ends up getting called after all of these fucking crazy-ass bills get out there, we're going to be doing a deep dive into some of the opposition, and perhaps if the People's Party of Canada puts anybody out there, I'll be pushing them pretty hard, him or her, I don't really care, just somebody who will do something. The question, which came from Kingston and the Islands MP Mark Gerritsen, asked Poilievre to explain how it is possible that the Bloc Québécois, the New Democrats, the Green Party, all supported Bill C-10. Oh, I forgot to lump in the Green Party. It's literally all the same. You put everybody on the political spectrum. You got the Conservatives somewhere, if we're going to go middle, if we're going to make the microphone the middle, and then we're just going to go ahead, be slightly in frame. Got the Conservatives right about there, and then you have the Liberals, the NDP, and then maybe the Green. And then the Bloc Québécois, I don't know, it's kind of tough to put them, but I think right about there, somewhere in there, they're literally all the same. Just look at their manifestos, look at their fucking policies out there, look at the bills that they push forward. The NDP and the Liberal Party, I don't even know why there's a fucking distinction at this point. It used to be different, at least when I was growing up, and I'm gonna have to go back and take a look again, because maybe things are colored a little bit different. Back when Jean Chrétien was the Prime Minister, he was a hell of a lot different. He was a little bit more moderate. And then he had Jack Layton, who was at least out there talking about working class issues. Didn't agree with him on a lot of his methods to get there, but he was nowhere near as radical as Jagmeet Singh. Like, if he was still alive today and didn't, kick the bucket about a decade ago, just about at that point, Jack Layton, you might have heard of him before. He's one of the many people that Biden ripped off when it comes to plagiarizing speeches. He seemed like a decent dude. He was a genuine guy. He was just the leader of a very fringe party, because the NDP talking points just resonated with working class provinces. They were prevalent in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. And then he had the revolving door of Conservative, the PC party at the time, who was battling out with Preston Manning's Reform Party, and the Reform Party was a little bit more to the right, but it still was like Canadian right, which is kind of like California sober. It's not quite exactly what it's trying to do, but they were trying, okay? And then Stephen Harper ended up unifying the parties and then becoming the last great prime minister, hopefully not forever. But he was good. He was actually somewhere in the middle. He was one of the people, one of the leaders that was out there that allowed the 2008 housing crash that affected the world. Ended up having a very, very small effect on Canada, and we actually prospered during that time. Just take a look at the numbers. He did a really fucking good job. But no. Mongoloids out east decided, we need a change. We just need change for the sake of change, and the drama teacher's running everything now. Fucking retards. There's one prominent conservative pundit on YouTube right now, and she's out there championing, I'm all for conservative ideas, and I'm such a free thinker. Yeah, I remember the memes you were posting in 2015. Yeah, I remember. There was one, a very famous sporting event. Joey Batista's bat flip during the Game 5 in 2013 of the ALDS. And it was Stephen Harper being flipped out, and she posted out with the old and in with Trudeau. Something to that effect, but I remember the meme. I know exactly who that is. And I got my eye on her because I feel like she's a bit of a snake. If you guys know who I'm talking about, I'm not going to name her. Because there's a reason I talk about all of these fake Johnny-come-lately conservatives or whatever the fuck you want to call this. Because calling myself a conservative? No, I don't think so. I'm not comfortable calling myself a conservative, libertarian. I'm Don. I have Don's ideas. You like Don's ideas? You can join Don's party, I guess. I don't fucking know. Because they come from all over the spectrum. Unlike Canada's current political climate, where you have just one shade of socialism and you can just pick the slop that's going to be thrown on your plate. Let's get back to Poilievre's response, because that's what that original tangent blossomed out of. Why do the Bloc, the NDP, and the Liberals all support the bill? It's simple. They're all the same. They all believe in putting the state above the citizen. It's their core of their ideology. They believe in worshipping at the altar of the state. They all believe that big government should decide and that the people should just follow. They all saw, in the words of the finance minister, a political opportunity in COVID. Really? Yup. In April of this year, Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland said the pandemic serves as a window of political opportunity, specifically in regards to childcare and many other things. The Great Reset, my friends. But this is all about kind of a dead issue, but at least Pierre's highlighting something that we all know, and at least he spoke it. It's going to be on the record until all the records start to get erased, because everything will be, I don't know, racist, sexist, and you just have to point it all out. But Bill C-10 allows for authorization of the CRTC, our Communications Governing Board. I don't quite remember what CRT stands for, nor do I really care, because they're all about pushing this mediocre Canadian content out there and regulating everything that goes across the broadcast waves with a level of control and bias that would make the FCC jealous. So who's our new regulatory overlord? Well, that would be Ian Scott. And what has he been up to lately? Well, the CRTC chairman under fire over one-on-one meetings with big telecom lobbyists. Oh, okay. So they're going to be regulating the internet now and trying to push content that they think better reflects Canadian values. And yet they're taking all of their cues from the people who have pushed out everybody who's turning to online content. Oh, okay. I get it. Mr. Scott held at least 11 reported solo meetings with Bell, Rogers, and Shaw during the course of the CRTC's open and active file. Terrific. Meetings that Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications, what a redundant name, Commission Chairman Ian Scott had with lobbyists from big telecom companies, including a one-on-one at an Ottawa pub with the now CEO of Bell, or further reasons to overturn the recent CRTC decisions and fire Scott, a small internet provider, told the Liberal government. But he won't be, because he's friends with the right people, and that's just how this corrupt shit works when you're in the government. Go figure. Tech Savvy has filed a petition to the federal cabinet asking it to reverse the CRTC's May decision not to lower the internet wholesale rates. Critics have said that surprising ruling in which the CRTC reversed a 2019 decision that lowered rates will lead to higher internet service prices for Canadians. Yes, and a monopolistic control on what gets put out there, on what gets promoted, what gets throttled, and you have nowhere else to turn, because even up here in Grand Prairie, you have your choice of, I think it's like 3 different providers. You have Eastlink, you have TELUS. Christ, I think that's it. And then you can just go fuck yourself, and that's about it. And once they start yeeting people for just, I don't know, saying the wrong things, we're all going to have to return to fucking ham radio and tin cans with strings. Because, okay, they want to get rid of different content that's on there. They want to get rid of hateful content. At least that's what Bill C-10 alleges as well. And then start pushing Canadian content and make it fair for, I don't know who the fuck they want to make it fair for, but we've gone over Bill C-10 in exhaustive detail, along with several other larger channels as well. And so Let me try to give you a little bit of a different perspective. Same government wants to root out hate. They want to root out harmful ideas or whatever the fuck they want to call it these days. And the same government is also compiling a list of people that are terrorists. And would you classify patriots who are just about exclusively American as terrorists? We talked a little bit about Patriot Front yesterday, and they kind of seem a little bit ethno-nationalist. They can go ahead and do that, okay? They can have both of their members show up at their meetings, and they can talk about how great being white is, and I don't really care. That's fine. And the 3%ers, I know that they're talked about in the same breath as Oath Keepers and Proud Boys, both of which are not racist. They aren't hateful, and they are by no means terrorists. They're just right of center, liberty-minded individuals, but no, they're terrorists up here in Canada. I wonder how many lists I would be on if I actually got some traction. On Friday, the Canadian government designated the right-wing 3%ers as a terrorist organization, but Antifa and Black Lives Matter still is nowhere near that list. Go figure. Adding the group to its list of terrorist entities, according to Global News, the government argued that the group is an active presence within Canada borders and could threaten national security. How so? Why? Point to them, quantify them. That would be great. 3%ers are named after an unproven theory that only 3% of colonials fought against the British during Revolutionary War. How unproven is it? Like it's totally debunked, or it's 1619 levels of unproven debunked theory that's actively being taught out there as fact? Just wondering. Colonials fought the British during the Revolutionary War, but achieved liberty for all. Yeah, sounds very, very hateful to me. More than 480 individuals have been charged in connection with the Capitol Hill riot. Wow, what a fucking turn. Oh my god. You know, many of those have actually gotten plea deals. This is almost an impressive bait and switch right here. Holy shit. At least 26 of those charged. Oh, 26 out of the 480? Oh my word, I better make sure that there is a pillow behind me so if I pass out, I don't bonk my head. So 26 of these people have been part of far-right groups, including the Western Chauvinists, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and the 3%ers. 26 people out of 480 people charged. Out of the, dozens of people that got let into the Capitol building, and out of the, hundreds of thousands of people that turned up to hear Trump talk in another country? Interesting. The 3%ers are also considered to have been responsible for a foiled plot across the border to kidnap, Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, it's the same plot we talked about in the previous video. Yeah, exactly, but look how they frame it here. The 3%ers are considered. Well, if they arrested the people that were involved with that and you can't prove that they were involved, why are you trying to drag their name? I don't get it. 3 other entities were also added to Canada's terrorist list on Friday, including another group called Aryan Strike Force. The name sounds scary, but what are they all about? I don't really care. Latest edition means that there are now 77 terrorist entities listed under the criminal code. I would be surprised if ISIS or Al-Qaeda are on that list. Personal assets can be forfeited and bank accounts can be frozen on suspicion of activity supporting any of the designated terrorist organizations. Anyone belonging to such groups can be blocked from entering Canada. Well, yeah, and the same thing too. If you haven't gotten the fucking jab 8 or 9 times, you're also banned from getting into or leaving Canada. So yeah, this same government who has, negligible proof that any of these people are actually ne'er-do-wells, legitimate threats out there, compiling lists of people who are hateful, people who are terrorists, people who are threats to national security, are the same group of people who are going to be regulating everything going on online. Like we were talking about with Bill C-10, is pretty bad, but I ain't got no shakes on this new motherfucker that's coming up. Trudeau Liberals unveil a new internet censorship bill to remove hate from the internet. What is hate? What is hate? Just like, what's a terrorist? Sorry, we're ending on a bad note. Trudeau Liberals have unveiled their latest piece of legislation to control the world from, internet in the form of Bill C-36, an act to amend the criminal code, brought to you by this same sack of shit. The code would make it so that bloggers, publishers, and Facebook and Twitter could face house arrest or large fines of up to $70,000. Yeah. You want to see everything get scrubbed and sanitized into oblivion quick? Every instance that goes up there, $70,000 bill. These places aren't going to be taking any chance. Anything that could be possibly perceived as being hateful will get removed. And what's hateful? I don't know. We don't know. The bill aims to create a safe and inclusive environment online. Really? An environment that protects everybody from truth, from political discourse, to any sort of conversation that's out there. You can never come up with a perfect piece of legislation, but you're trying. Minister Shitdick said that the bill aimed to create a safer internet. That's not what anybody wants. That's not what anybody of real consequence wants. You keep citing these studies, and the last one that we looked down in extensive detail polled like what, 300 people? 300 people part of your Twitter crowd? Unbelievable, the justification. And guess who's going to be signing up for all of that? All of those same parties who voted for and supported Bill C-10. But this one gets a whole hell of a lot worse, because now they have the power to regulate what's on there, and then they're going to tell you what they're going to be able to put on there, okay? So they set up the fences for you and everything, and now they're letting the wolves into the henhouse. We have to use as many tools as possible to deal with this. You really don't. There's no silver bullet to deal with this. Oh, really? You guys can write your own jokes. I don't need to be thrown in a prison camp for that obvious joke to be made. It is discriminatory practice to communicate or cause to be communicated hate speech. Let's take that from the top. It is a discriminatory practice to communicate or cause to be communicated hate speech by means of the internet or others means of telecommunications in context in which the hate speech is likely to foment detestation or vilification of an individual or group of individuals on the basis of a prohibited group of discrimination. So you're not allowed to say anything negative about any of the protected groups that are out there. But you can still shit on white people, straight people, Christians, the majority of the country. Cool, man. These changes are designed to target the most egregious and clear forms of hate speech that can lead to discrimination and violence. Oh, really? That's how you're going to try to sell this? Oh, we're just going to try to get rid of all of the Nazis that are online. How many are out there? Both of them? Sure. Okay, yeah, we're going to make entire legislation of vagatories like that fucking abomination that is taken straight out of the text of the bill. It's a slippery slope, and we're already halfway down it, and guess what's at the bottom? Nothing but spikes, lava. And if you survive the ride, a little train car that'll take you to a camp for re-education. They do not target simple expressions of dislike or disdain that pepper everyday discourse, especially online. Oh, really? Really? Is that how you're going to try to sell it? And that's coming straight from our top lawyer, our attorney general, the one who replaced the woman of color, the first one out there appointed by Justin Trudeau, David Lamenti. Yeah. Just like how we were too stupid to understand the text that was in Bill C-10. No. This is not going to attack individuals. Yeah, but this is exactly what it was. Because if you remember, Gibault also fucking let slip that, oh yeah, we're going to take a look at larger influencers out there. And that's what C-10 is also going to take a look at as well. So these are hate speech laws. They're coming in. They're coming through on the internet. Don't think it's going to stop there. Canada is so proper fucked for a very, very, very long time. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, guys. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, y'all.